Good day, good day, good day. Here we go. Another lesson. We have vocabulary and an art piece, and then we're going to be studying some elements of art and what we're going to do today. All right, so this is the picture that we're going to be studying, and it is by Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, or something like that. He was French, and it's a profile. It's called D'une Femme. All right, it is a female, basically, is what it's saying. This is the artist, Henri, and he painted that picture. So now let's look at our word wall, and then we'll look at the picture with these words in mind. The first one is texture. What is texture? That's what we're learning about today. Texture is the surface quality of an object, either real or created. That means that here, if you can see close, we have these different, here's some dots, here's some lines, and different things, and we have in our mind how they might feel, okay? And that's what texture is. If we had a real sculpture right in front of us, we would be able to feel, maybe we'd be able to feel what a shoe would feel like, or what burlap would feel like. That's texture, how something would feel. The next one is a drawing. Okay, the picture that we're looking at is a drawing. It is not, he may have used paint, he may have used ink, he may have used all sorts of things, different things. Those look like paint splotches right there. Those sort of look like ink, maybe paint right there. But it's more of a drawing. And that's what we're going to be doing when we do our project, is we're going to be doing some drawing. We're also looking at a horizon line and background, and we're going to be using those terms when we do our project. And so I'll explain those more there. But a horizon line is where the horizon, where the sun goes down, and you cannot see it anymore. If you're looking out into the sea, you can see the horizon really, really clearly. But if you go out into a field or outside somewhere where your view stops, that's the horizon line. A background is something that's in the back. You have the trees in the background here, those green trees back there. And in the front, you have a city and you have some trees right here. So there is a background. And then we have things called foreground, but we're looking background. What is the background looking at? That's the word we're looking at today in our word wall. So let's apply some of those here in some of the elements of art that we have studied already. Let's apply them. One of the elements of art that we have looked at is the word, oh, I'm getting it, shape. Do we see shapes here? Remember, a shape is when a line crosses itself with another line, making something like a circle or a leaf or a flower. Do we see any shapes? He was really, really good at just creating a whole lot of lines in this particular picture. And their shapes are very, very minimum, not many at all. We see maybe a shape here, but it's not a closed shape. And so if you can find any, yay, good for you. All right, next one that we've studied is value. And value is the range of lightness to darkness in a picture. So as we look at this, do we see any ranges? We see a little bit of range in the black, but not too much. This blue spots that are the background of this particular picture, you have some lighter ones and some darker ones. But there isn't too much as far as value goes. The next one we studied was form. And remember that form is something that makes it look three-dimensional. That looks like you can feel it or touch it. And what do we have here that makes it look like you can feel it or touch it? Some of these lines in the hair and in the hat do make it bump out, stand out a little bit. But when you're doing drawing, it's very, very difficult to get it to do that unless you have a lot of different lines. Here in the face, that looks more like it could be standing out. And so the last one that we've studied, started today, is texture. See the texture on this particular one? Yeah, that feels sort of rough, doesn't it? All right, so what kind of textures are in this one? I think these lines are creating some texture in my mind. That's why I chose this picture, because of that very thought, that those lines looked like you could almost feel the hat, feel the hair and the clothes. All right, so elements of art. We've studied 4: shape, value, form, and texture. There are more than 4, there's 7. We have line, shape, value, form, texture, space, and color. Those are the ones that we're going to be doing, so you can see where we're heading. All right, and the project for today, we're going to draw a bear. And we're drawing a bear because of the texture of a teddy bear. If you have a teddy bear, go find it and feel it while I go from here to the counter. Go find your teddy bear, and let's see once if your teddy bear feels smooth or feels rough. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, good day, everybody. I did not say hello, Andrew and Natalie and Nathan and Lydia and Mason and Catherine and all of you that are out there in watching land. But hello. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Remember, we're looking at the texture. All right, so let's get a plain piece of paper and put this over here because I'm going to draw from this side, and we will follow along. Good day, everyone out there. Boy, I didn't say hello. Hello, Andrew and Nathan and Natalie and Mason and Lydia and Catherine and everyone who's watching out there today. All right, so here we go. We're going to draw this because a bear has texture, and I did it really, really fast, and so we're going to try and go slower for you and see once what we can do. All right, so on here, notice a number of different things. The first thing is the shape of a circle. All right, so you can do it a number of different ways. You can just draw a circle like I have done, or what you can do is you can get something, a cup or something, and put it down and trace around it. Either one of those works really well. So if you can't do a circle, just go and get a cup or something to trace. All right, so we have a circle there, and we're going to do some more circles because we're going to make these eyes, and there are 2 big bulgy eyes right in the middle of our bear. And then we're going to do a 3rd circle for his nose and his mouth down there. It almost looks like he's screaming, "What is going on?" Let's give him some ears to just sort of make him look more berry, more like a bear. And notice here that we did a double ear, if you will, because the inside of a bear's ear is not have the same texture as the outside. All right, so now let's give him his nose. Inside of that circle, we're going to do a little bitty triangle. Okay, little bitty triangle, and from the bottom of that triangle, we're going to do 2 little hooks, or a J forward and a J backward, either way. In his eye, go ahead and do 2 other circles. All right, so that sometimes you have to make something bigger. But if you made your eyes small and you can't get 2 eyes inside, go ahead and make them outside of it. All right, so we want to color that in, but notice that I'm going to leave just one little spot that I didn't color in. It just gives it a little bit of a glare, a little bit of a, oh, he's looking that way. And so that's what we're going to do here too. All right, now as far as the ears, we'll work with that when we get our crayons out. Let's work with the body of the bear now. We're going to have some overalls on our bear. So from the edge here, we're going to go 2 parallel lines and make it come sort of rounded. Almost like, looks like his hands, but these are the strap of his pants. Okay, we're doing the strap of his pants first so we know where we're going to put things. All right, now we're going to do his pants. Okay, and they come out just a little bit on both sides of the straps. and then they're going to come down. And when they come down, it's almost like a rectangle with a line in between. So now he has his pants. It's like, where's the rest of his body? We need arms. That's what we need. We need the arms. And so we're going to just go like this. Very simple arms. We're not doing anything complicated. We're just going to just come down straight like that. We're not even going to do some other interesting things. Okay, so here you can't see here, but there's his feet. So just an oval and then another oval. Do them as good as you can. It doesn't matter if they're flat or ovals or not. If you get really frustrated with all of this, what you need to do is go and look at the beautiful oops and then come back. Go ahead and put 2 black circles for buttons on his overalls. And then we're going to just pause for a second so that you can get caught up. I've got a lot to do. I've got a lot to do. That's all right. Get caught up. Push pause and then start again. All right, now we're going to color it in. All right, so these are colored in pink because they go into his head, and that's where the sound is going to come in. There isn't the texture of his skin on there like it is on this one, like it is on the outside of this. Okay, we're going to do his nose and mouth area a yellow. Okay. There we go. Yellow it is. That's just going to pop it out a little bit because that's going to have a little different texture. Now you notice as I'm coloring there, it's bleeding a little of the black, and that's okay. It gives a little bit of distinction, and it makes it look like it's not just a two-dimensional thing, that it has some form to it. All right, so now we do the pants. Now I did blue over here, so I'm going to do blue over here too. But you go ahead and color your pants. This might take a little bit of time, and so we might start and stop us or go fast or something. But go ahead and color your pants. Okay, if you did not stop your video to do your pants, stop it in just a moment and get your pants done and then come back to us. All right, but here we have the 2 different pants, and notice on this one with the marker I went horizontally from side to side when I did the pants, and I did each of the legs separate. This one here I went up and down. You can see this little line right here because I could only go so far in one fell swoop, and that's one of the reasons I decided on this one I was going to go side to side. But there is a difference in the value. There is a difference in value. There's a difference in texture. There's a difference in how it looks and feels by this way that you go ahead, the direction that you color it in. And so that's something to keep in mind. All right, so stop it if you need to do the pants and come back to us. All right, if you're back, good deal. Now we're going to do that texture part. How do we get the texture on it? Well, we're not going to color it like we've colored everything else. Everything else we've gone side to side and filled the whole space in. Here, we're going to want to do little lines. And each line is just going to be a little bit on the paper. Not much. They're just like, not quite dots. They're more of a line. Are you seeing what I'm doing, or is my hand in the way? Just a little line back and forth, little line, little line, little line. And that is helping us get the idea of fuzz, a fuzzy bear. All right, I don't know. This one might be a little bit rougher than your fuzzy bear if you went and got one. But it's giving us a little idea of the texture of this bear. All right. And so just a little bitty lines. And then we're going to do the feet with those little bitty lines, and the face. But we're not going to do the eye because there's no fuzz inside of an eye. We're not going to go over the nose and the mouth because there's no fuzz there either. Okay. We are going to go on the ears just like that. You can't really see it very well until I'm done, and I apologize for that. But I'm just sort of trying to show you as we go. But we're going to try and do it about as thick all the way around so that it has a texture. Now, if you really want to do something, there's different things that you can do to add to this picture. You can take a different brown and do it that might have a slightly different coloration to it, or a crayon, and just add it to it to give it some different texture, or a thicker texture or a thinner texture. Notice this one is thinner and this one is thicker. You can add pockets. You can add a bow to the hair if you want it to be a girl and make it a skirt instead of pants. You can do a whole lot of things to make it your own picture. But we wanted to make that bear look like he had texture. One of the things that makes it look like texture on this one, which you can try on this one, is to take and go around the outside with your marker so that it doesn't look like it's flat, but comes out just a little bit. That's going to help it give that appearance of texture on a flat surface. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.